Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hello and welcome to Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. I'm Becky Parker Geist, and I'm your host. Audiobook Connection is your place to learn about the audiobook creative process in discussions between the authors, narrators, producers, and post-production teams that bring them all together, as well as guests who have listened to the audiobooks and have questions for the creative teams. This podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I have with me today Brad Pohl. Brad is a children's author, and we're going to talk about some innovative things he's doing with his children's content. Brad has had an interesting set of careers, and he has been a farmer, a graphic designer, an English teacher in Vietnam, a safari lodge manager, and is now a children's author. Welcome, Brad.
Oh, thanks, Becky. Thanks for having me here.
Let's first clue people into where in the world are you located?
I'm Zimbabwean. I live in Zimbabwe, and I'm a 3rd or 4th generation Zimbabwean. Originally, my ancestors were originally from Germany.
Ah, cool. So if I understand correctly, the book that we worked together on is your first published book, but you have more that are coming out, that are in the works. Is that right?
Yes, I have. Well, I'm hoping to have 3 out by Christmas, and then more are imminent. I mean, I have a whole bunch written out and planned.
Great. Tell me a little bit about what got you started writing. What inspired you, got you on this path?
I think it's something that I've naturally come to. While I've been doing my other things, I've always enjoyed drawing little cartoons and writing silly poems and things. And I love kids. I get on well with kids, and I love their humor, and I love that aspect of being able to teach them something new. And kids are brilliant as well. They don't have all the rubbish that comes with adults. And they're very open. And another thing is, when I was a child, I was quite an early reader, and I hated it when I was reading a book and they patronized me or talk down to me. A kid knows as soon as they're being talked down to. And I hated that. And I'm hoping that I can, in my books, I won't do that. But yeah, I think I was managing a sort of posh safari lodge in the Zambezi River, and I was halfway through my book, and then COVID struck, so a whole lot of us were laid off, and then I focus on this, and I think it's just something I'd gradually been thinking about more and more, and something I was wanting to do, and this was a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, great. And you have an important message in your book as well. Tell us about that aspect of the book.
Well, I grew up in the northern part of Zimbabwe, and my father was a very keen conservationist. So he passed it on to us kids. So we've always loved nature and animals. And it was when I was traveling I'm teaching in Vietnam. I also traveled around Southeast Asia quite a bit, and I was struck by how it was in Thailand, I think, where I was beach, and I used to go down in the mornings, and it was a beautiful beach, but there's rubbish all over it, and a group of us used to walk in the mornings and just collect as much as we could. number was always more the next morning. And I just thought it's such a shame that this happens. And I'm speaking to other people. It's all over Southeast Asia. So Fernando Invents Socks, which is my first book, really came about through that. I had a character, this penguin, and I just started writing one day. And I basically wrote the book in an afternoon. Obviously, it took a long time to iron it out, but yeah, I just wanted to write a book about ocean trash, and without shoving it down children's throats either. I hope it's not preachy or anything. It's just to get the message across and to teach them about it, and then teach them ways that they can help, like the recycling and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
But now, what was really interesting, and the reason I wanted to invite you to talk with me today, is that you've taken a different approach from many children's authors with how you're bringing your book out into, to your audience. And so could you tell us a little bit about what that is, what this kind of publishing that you're doing? And first, initially, if you would just describe that.
Okay. How it came about is, so I managed to self-publish the book in the first place. So I have a whole stack of books sitting in the States because I thought that I had to choose one place to store them, and I thought that would be my biggest market. But I'm not so great on the marketing side of things, so I've been kind of struggling to get them off, get them out of the storeroom and to people's homes. So I came across some software that you can use to make interactive ebooks. And because I did the book, I have some graphic design experience and also technical experience. I was able to teach myself how to use the software, and so I've produced this interactive ebook, which is based obviously on the book, and I'm hoping to now put that out there, which should drive sales to the printed version, and then also any sequels or future books. It's a tool I want to use to sell my brand and to develop my brand and to sell those other books that I've sitting there.
Yeah. And just so our audience knows, the way that we connected was around the voiceover for that interactive ebook that you created. And so what I really like about this path that you're taking is that you are using some innovative tools and trying them out, and I think have created a really interesting, fun, interactive experience, which is a different way than most children's authors are thinking about how to get their content out. And so I wanted to introduce people a little bit more to what this technology is, what's available, and a way for them to be able to pursue that with their own work if it seems like a fit. So essentially, your book is about how many pages long, would you say?
It's 36 pages. It's the standard children's picture book.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And about how many words overall, would you say?
I knew I should
putting you on the spot now. Not too many words per page.
It's a couple of, each page has a few sentences. I mean, if anyone listening to this is interested, you're more than welcome to download it. I'll give Becky a coupon code, and anyone who's interested is more than welcome to download it and have a look at it and share it as well. Share the code with people if they like, and hopefully there'll be a few kids out there who enjoy it.
Great.
Why I came to you, Becky, was because I did it all. I set it all up, but then when it came to the voices, I tried to do it myself, and I thought I'd done a pretty good job. And then a videographer friend of mine listened to it, and he said, "Listen, Brad, this is rubbish. You've got to get it done professionally. So I swallowed my pride and I did a bit of Googling, and yeah, you guys came across quite quickly. And then I think I listened to a sample that you had done, and straight away I thought, no, I'm just going to contact you guys, and that's how I ended up giving you a shout. And just it was so nice to work with you, just the way that you sliced it up perfectly. All I had to do was, take the audio that you had sliced up for me and slot it in, and it seemed to just work perfectly. It was great.
That's great. So just to try and give people an idea of what this kind of interactive book is like. So hopefully, yes, they'll go take a look, but let's describe a little bit more about what it is. So on each page, we've got a couple of sentences. And then how does that interactivity work for imagine a page. Describe to us what the child experiences on that page.
Okay, well, first, when they open the file, they'll there's a short little intro with the sort of animated version of the cover. And then it's really quite simple because, they're little kids. So each page is very basically animated. It's not Disney, but there's a bit of movement and a few sound effects. And then the child is encouraged to just first there's a play button to just get it going, and then the first line of text will come up with you reading in the back, with you reading over the text. So, and then they listen to that, and then when they're ready, they press that text to get the next text, and so on. And then when they come to the final one, when they press that, it'll go to the next page. So what's so nice is that it comes up in short sentences, so they can associate the words with the spoken words, and it doesn't all come at a rush, and they can go to the next one when they're ready, not when we're ready to play it.
Right. So the child is actually controlling the pace of the book.
Yes.
In terms of when each sentence comes up for them.
Yeah.
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 And they're really cute animations, I have to say. I love your little Fernando.
I'll get to
Great. And then sort of diving in a little bit into the detail of that, what's your process like? And I'm not asking you to go into the real fine detail of placement or whatever, but just to give sort of a general idea to our listeners about what process it takes for you to put that together, and including the illustration piece. Since you do have some animation, some figures that move, there is some minimal animation on those pages. What does it take?
Well, I was quite lucky in that I had all the original illustrations because I did them in the first place. So then it was a matter of taking. So I had a Photoshop file in layers with a page. So then I sorted the Photoshop file so that each element that I wanted to be separate in the ebook was on a different layer. So then I exported those layers. So I had a bank of snow, and then I had a separate penguin, and then I had a separate chicken, and then the text is obviously separate. And so I have each element stacked in the ebook software, and then I can sort of apply actions to those and movement and whatever. So I think it might be quite big. I haven't really compared it much to other similar types of books. So it's about 140 megabytes, which is quite big. But, if I want all these things to be separate, then I think you sort of pay the price a little bit with size. But I think it's okay, in this age of fast internet, I'm hoping that it'll be fine. But
yeah,
obviously the more simple the graphics and the less the less layers and things, the smaller the book will be.
Right. Let's pause for a moment. We'll be right back. Here at Pro Audio Voices, we take a personalized approach to helping you get your project into audio. If you have a children's book and are exploring the possibility of putting it into audio, and you maybe have questions about how to approach it, or does it even make sense for your particular book, these are all things that we can help with at Pro Audio Voices. Just reach out to us at proaudiovoices.com/get-started, and you can book a call so we can talk. If you'd like to just gather some information from the website, go to proaudiovoices.com/children's audiobooks. We're here to help great stories come alive and work with you to help yours have a greater impact in the world. And if you get, let's say you get a single PDF or JPEG or single image from, let's say if you were to receive that from an author, is that something that you can work with to create an animation?
Yes, it really depends on the complexity of the illustrations. It all depends. There's always a way. It would help if I had sort of access to the originals, but then sometimes it's a watercolor that somebody's done and scanned, and obviously then, but you can though. You can cut it out in Photoshop, and then you can try and smooth out the background, and so it all just depends on the complexity of the drawing. And if somebody had done an illustration in Photoshop like I use, then their layers would already make it a lot easier. But I think most books are actually color these days.
Yeah. And then how are you currently or planning to distribute that ebook?
I think for some time I'm going to my plan is, look, I'm terrible at this, so I'm just telling you what I'm going to try and do. Whether it works or not, I don't know. I actually need a partner, I think, a business partner to do all this stuff for me. But my plan at the moment is to try and contact influencers on Facebook and Instagram and whatever, who are in this sort of genre. So they're either they picture book reviewers, or they may be involved in ocean trash. Maybe they're involved in the environment and whatever. And then I'm going to offer them the book possibly as a gift to their followers, and offer them a coupon code for 100% off, or a big discount off the book. So basically that's how I'm going to do it. What's so nice about a book like this, though, is that you can offer it for free and you're losing nothing. You don't have to, I can't give away my print ones for free because, it's cost to print each one, and then there's the shipping and everything. Right. I can give as many of these for free as I like. And I think, I'm hoping that it will just build the brand and spread the word. And for anyone sort of looking at doing this, and for everything I've read, it would work best with a sequel. So it would be perfect to have as the first book in a sequel that you can just give out for free indefinitely, and then get the parents or whatever, get them into it. And then because they like the first one, they'll like the second, they'll go and actually buy the second one at the full price. So that is my thinking at the moment.
Yeah, great. And in terms of distribution, you talked a little bit about marketing. Is it available on platforms like iTunes or Kobo, places like that?
No, not yet. Because I'm in Zimbabwe, it's challenging when it comes to that sort of thing. I was trying to get it onto iTunes the other day, and it's just a massive amount of forms and things. And then I have to just phone the US to speak to someone in the US. And apparently people and the other people who've done it say you sometimes have to wait for half an hour. And at the moment, it's just available on my website. And for now, I'm just going to focus on that, I think. And I'll slowly try to get it onto all these platforms. The main places I wanted to try and get onto was the iTunes Store and Google Play Store. So, yeah. But at the moment, it's just from my website.
And so if we have listeners that are interested in finding out more about how they might get their book into this kind of interactive format, is that something you could help them with?
Oh, for sure, definitely. If they're interested, just they can drop me a line, drop me an email, contact me from the website. There's a contact form there. It's tadpohl.com. So it's TADPOHL.com.
Great. All right. Very good.
Yeah,
and
we can chat from there. Just that maybe show me a PDF of their work, and I can give them an idea.
Great. Well, I know that it's still early on in terms of you getting this out there, so we'll definitely want to be, keeping tabs on how that's going for you, and we'll check back and learn more. But I think it's an exciting new way to bring your content out to the world. So I wanted to make sure that our listeners had this as some input for their possibilities. And then you said you wanted to share a coupon code for a free download. Would you like to do that in the context of this, or would you like to have people email me?
No, this is fine. So they'll just go to the I can give you a link for the purchase page, and they can go to the purchase page, and then in the just during the process they can just use a coupon. It's just Pro Audio Voices, one word.
Okay.
And stick that in and make sure they claim the coupon, and they should get an email downloading it for free. One thing I should mention to your listeners as well is I keep seeing that apparently the email mailing list is our most important weapon in our arsenal. So this is also a huge part of trying to build up my email mailing list. So obviously I'll be handing out coupons, but hopefully I'll be receiving an email address in return that I can add to my, obviously it's if people want to or not. They don't have to sign up to my newsletter. But, if they're interested, then they will join the newsletter. And then, you can always let people know of a new book and maybe new merchandise that you're selling and that sort of thing as well.
Absolutely.
Here's the main thing behind this. My mother thinks I'm crazy. She said, no, you must sell it. You must sell it. Don't give it away for free. But she doesn't understand that the main thing is trying to build up the mailing list,
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And I would encourage all of our listeners to do the same with their own kind of content, creating a lead magnet, which is basically what that becomes when you're giving something away in exchange for an email address, so the ability to reach out to them again.
Yeah,
absolutely makes sense, and it's very fair.
And it's also if they do like it, then they'll be interested to know that there's a new one out. And I think I'll always,
that's right.
Well, on the mailing list, I'm sure that I'll probably always keep the ebooks free as well. Because it's kind of being part of a club or something.
Yeah. So again, to find that purchase page, they would go to tadpohl.com. Is that right?
If you just go to tadpohl.com, and then there's a link to the books, and then there's the print version and the interactive ebook version. If you go to that interactive ebook version and just add it to the shopping cart and go through to the shopping cart and then apply the coupon code, you'll get it. You'll be able to download it for free. And then for anyone who does get the ebook, you'll also get, I think you'll get a 50% off the cost of the print book if you're interested in that.
Great. And so that coupon again was Pro Audio Voices.
Yeah, Pro Audio Voices is the coupon, or just one word.
Okay. Is it all lowercase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else that you would like to share with our listeners before we wrap up for today?
No, not really. If you have any brilliant tips of how to sell books that have worked for you, I'd love to hear about it. But otherwise, and I would like you to download it and just maybe send me feedback. Anyway, it's always good to hear. I'm a newbie at this as well, and it's always nice to get feedback on things.
Absolutely. That's one way that we, as authors, can help other authors, which is all good. So, Brad, thank you so much for being with me. Brad's book, Brad Pohl, that's Pohl, as in his website, tadpohl.com. Brad is the author of Fernando Invents Socks, an interactive children's book for kids. Thanks so much for being with me today, Brad.
Oh, thanks so much for having me for my very first podcast ever, Becky.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. As always, if you have questions, please reach out to us at proaudiovoices.com. We're here to help your great stories come alive. Thanks for joining us for Audiobook Connection, behind the scenes with the creative teams. Please take a moment to subscribe at audiobookconnection.com. The podcast is sponsored by Pro Audio Voices, helping great stories come alive through audiobook production and marketing. Learn more at proaudiovoices.com. Again, thanks for being with us, and please join us next week.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.